Hi guys, how are we all on this lovely shiny Tuesday morning? It's been a while since I've posted, I know, but there's been a couple of different comments that have been sort of bandied backwards and forwards in comments in the videos and stuff, that I really wanted to knuckle down and address with you guys. I'm a member of a few different support groups, forums, etc. And one of the really big questions that keeps cropping up again and again and again is, why will my family not tell me that I smell? Why do people turn around and say, oh, I haven't smelt you? And yes, there are going to be people that say I don't smell you because they're being kind, because they're being sensitive to you. But then there's another group of people that they won't tell you because, and this is the shocker, they don't actually smell you. They're not lying to you. They're not being dishonest. They don't smell you. They don't smell you as strongly as other people do. And I've been wrestling and thinking and looking things up and going on old Dr. Google and trying to figure out why that might be. And I think it really is as simple as two things. Firstly, they haven't got the same amount, maybe they haven't got the same amount of smell receptors. There's a specific scent receptor in people's noses. I won't bore you with the proper name for it, partly because I can't remember it. But that can be deactivated in part, or its sensitivity reduced by certain things. And I suppose if you've got less of those types of receptors, then you'll be less sensitive to the smell. And I think the other part of it is that, this is point number 2, is that people become nose blind, for want of a better word. Sorry, Febreze, don't mean to rip off your phrase there, but the same as if you've got a dog in your house. You don't smell that your house smells doggy. Because the dog's there all the time, you're there all the time, and you just don't smell it. You become, over time, desensitised to the smell. And I honestly think it's the same with us and our families. That we become less sensitive to the smell. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that won't sort of turn around and say, oh no, I don't smell you, and then 5 minutes later be off talking to Fanny Ann in the round the corner, telling them how much you stink. But I suppose what I'm trying to say is, take people at face value. If people tell you that you don't smell, take them at that. Accept that as an answer. If you've asked the question, accept an honest answer when it's given. We have enough trouble as sufferers, tearing ourselves to pieces, assuming everything's our fault, that we're terrible, terrible people, that we've got this condition, because that's how, in general, society has conditioned us to feel, that if you smell, you're dirty. And if you're dirty, there must be something that you can do about it, which in this instance is rubbish. We have enough problems, real problems, without creating them, without making ourselves feel bad for something that isn't there. Now, just as a bit of an aside to that, to all you non-sufferers out there that know people with this condition, there's something you can do to help yourselves. There's something that you can do to help mitigate the smell from a sufferer. And that is a chemical called timberol. It's quite a heavy, woody, synthetic scent that they put into certain perfumes and aftershaves. You can look it up online. You can find those perfumes and colognes and things online. But this timberol, it desensitizes these smell receptors. It reduces their sensitivity to the trimethylamine. So I'm not saying, now before you go off with this one, I'm not saying buy a bottle and start spraying the person. What I'm saying is try using that scent either on yourself or around your area so you can desensitize your smell receptors, so when that person walks past, you're less likely to smell them. Because to a certain extent, if you have somebody in your life that has this condition, you are just as responsible in mitigating your discomfort as that person is to solving their problem. The problem itself is difficult enough to solve. The same medical interventions do not have the same effect in every single patient. The same as with not all diabetics respond the same way to their medications because of different types of metabolism. It's exactly the same. The only problem is with this is that there is this massive stigma attached to it. And I'm sure you all know my whole purpose of doing these videos, etc., is to destigmatize it, is to start a conversation, start people talking about it, and stop hiding it in a closet in a dirty corner somewhere where it doesn't need to be. It's a medical condition. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention today is, and by no means before anybody starts thinking this is the case, I am not dissing anybody's faith, religion, belief in this. But I'm hearing a lot of chatter online, a few videos online that I can't fundamentally agree with, and it upsets me to hear, because as an individual I've fought long and hard in myself, and I've said it to lots of people online since the video came out, that you're not to blame. We are not to blame for having a health condition. We didn't walk up to the health condition counter and say, can we have a condition that makes us stink like fish, please? There was nothing that I did as a child that caused me to have this condition. It's genetic. There is a genetic predisposition. Nothing I do or could have done throughout my life has made my body delete the gene that produces that gives me the blueprint to produce the enzyme. Yes, I'm overweight. Shocker. But because I'm overweight doesn't mean, oh, if I lost 50 pounds, my body would miraculously start producing the enzyme again. That's just not how it works. That's not how genetics works. It's not how your genes and enzymes and metabolic system work. It's just not how it happens. But I've also been hearing some chatter about the fact that we've brought it on ourselves by poor living, by being sinful, by it's God's way of punishing us for our misdeeds, and that really, really upsets me. I'm not a particularly religious individual. I'm not particularly devout. I was brought up in a Christian family, but that's not. I don't really prescribe to any religion other than the religion of being nice. At the end of the day, of being friendly and open with people. All that aside, there is, to a certain extent, there is I suppose you could say, spiritual nature to this condition, but not what caused it. The spiritual nature is how we deal with it, is using our faith, our love of God, of Allah, of whoever, our faith in our path, that we are being brought to something better, that we use our faith as a support mechanism for the days when we're feeling like crap, for the days when somebody said something that's really hurt your feelings, or when you feel like you're having a really bad day. What really hurts me to see is people using their past as, or people using this condition and saying, I have this because I did this in the past. This is God's way of punishing me. This is God's way of showing me that I am on the wrong path. I was quite young when this condition started with me. Didn't realise it at the time. We thought it was something completely different. But to say that a child of that age has done something so sinful that it's caused this condition, if you're taking the logic through, is erroneous. I'm fighting long and hard with myself, but also with other sufferers, to try and get them to see that this isn't your fault. This is a health condition. It's an illness. It's not something that you asked for, however you might have asked for it, or however you might think you might have asked for it. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's not because you're overweight, because you drank a bit, because you shouted at that man on the bus, because you were a little bit short with the girl that served you your coffee. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. Please stop trying to blame yourself for something that is outside of your control. All we're doing now is trying to make ourselves better people. Not even make ourselves better people. We're trying to make ourselves better. And it hurts me. It hurts my heart to hear people say that it's because of something that they've done. And it isn't. Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note. So, a couple of things to take away from today's video is love yourself. Don't blame yourself. And to all the non-sufferers out there, stop smell shaming. We didn't ask for it. We didn't bring it on ourselves. You wouldn't tell somebody with any number of genetic conditions that it's their fault. You wouldn't blame them. Don't blame us. Okay guys, cheerio then. Until the next time. Take care. Bye.